Hello, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining me here at the Table Talks. This is our second episode for the year of 2022. I am one of the hosts of Table Talks. We have Bernice Mitchell, who is a host, as well as Martina Young. And if you were able to catch the episode last month with Martina Young being the host for that particular session, you would know that our topic for this year is, for this first quarter of the year, is restarting. What does that look like for us to restart? And we want to focus on that for this first quarter so that we're getting our reboot going. Those are some of the things that Martina talked about, rebooting and getting ourselves prepared to reset and receive all that is available for us this year. And so I am coming this month for February, and happy President's Day for people who maybe some government workers that were off today and different ones working in settings that observe federal holidays. You were able to take a day off for today. But thank you for joining me at the table. If you're coming in, just say, hey, join in the comment section. Tell me your name, maybe tell me where you're coming from. We know there's people who watch and correspond with us from various states. And so we're thankful for you all who joined us all throughout last year and 2020 at the table. And if you'll go with us this year, we have some exciting things planned. And one of those things that we're doing is mixing it up, where we are coming with particular topics individually, but we're coming back together at the table to share at the end of this quarter. So next month, for the month of March, you will have Bernice Mitchell hosting with some very relevant topics in relation to restarting that you will also gain a lot from. But today I want to talk about restarting with your business and finances. And so let's look at that for a little bit today. There are 5 things that I want to concentrate on, even with this point here. And one of those, let me make sure I get my slides going here and I'm on point. One of those will be vision, value, variety, and virtue. And we're going to look at that in relation to our business as well as finances. How do we restart? How do we restart in our business when it comes to vision, when it comes to value, when it comes to variety and virtue? And the same with our finances. And we want to look at that and see what that means for us individually. There are some people that'll be watching this. You've had various things throughout your life that have come and tried to stop you from moving forward in your vision with your business as well as your finances. And we're going to talk a little bit tonight on how do we get through that? How do we restart and reboot, recalibrate? Something Martina said last month that was good on that topic was the fact that even with our computers, most of the time when we call the IT department, many of us can relate to this. They'll say, have you rebooted? You're like, wait a minute, I just want the answer, right? And we'll reboot. And there's the answer. The computer comes back refreshed. The computer comes back ready to do what it has been wired and created to do. How much more for us as humans? There's greatness within us. There are things, like I always say, we are a solution. You are a solution. And once you get that embedded in yourself, these principles right here of restarting will begin to even rejuvenate more in your life when you recognize the fact that you are a solution, that you are greater than a computer, right? We depend a lot on these devices. We depend a lot on our phones, and we do almost everything on our phones. But we as humans, look, it took a human to create such a great resource that we utilize. So that lets us know how much more valuable we are and how much we have within us to give in the earth. So we're going to talk about that restarting. Let's look at it a little bit tonight. And we're going to start with vision. Vision, the ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. Think about that. That is so important for us. The ability to think about or plan the future with imagination or wisdom. And I think sometimes where we get stuck, and you can comment on this as well as I'm going through this, give me your thoughts, let's dialogue. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see, I'm trying to share my screen and look, so I will go back and comment, but I need you to engage with me tonight. But with imagination, sometimes we have to restart, we have to reboot. when it pertains to our imagination, things come to block us, and then we feel very stuck mentally on what is the next vision for myself. I can't even see past what I'm going through. I can't even see past maybe the hurt that I'm encountering. I can't even see past the grief and the pain. I can't see past this obstacle that is in my way. But yet I have to have vision beyond that. So that's why it's important for us to allow ourselves to think about that when it comes to our business and finances. Three questions that I have in relation to both of these. Business, what is your vision for your business? Some people that are watching this today, you had a vision years ago and you stopped, or you've had some things in life that just allowed the season to change for you, and you had to make those adjustments and shift. Where does that vision come back into play? Don't give up on that vision. I want to encourage somebody to not give up on that vision. I had a vision years ago for my business, and life just happened. 3 children later, life transitions, and I had to still keep going with the vision. And then lo and behold, 23 years later, the things that I continue to small intervals do, it came into manifestation, and it's just even blooming and blossoming into what it's supposed to be. But don't give up. I want to encourage someone, do not give up on your vision. Does it adjust? Does it change? Does it shift with time? For sure. The very thing that I thought it would be decades ago, it has evolved more into beyond what I can imagine. And that's just with the vision and allowing it to not die, keeping it alive, restarting the vision. It's okay to restart the vision of your business. Find out what that looks like now. And how have you outlined your vision? Not just having it in your head, just thinking about it, but getting it out, writing it out, sharing it with individuals who you know are going to help push you and to encourage you regarding your vision. And when will you have your business plan updated? Somebody watching this, you already did it. Good job. I'm gonna give you an applause. You have written your business plan, and your business plan is about a decade old. So now it's time to update the vision for your business and allow yourself to move in what is available now. In relation to your finances, a vision for your finances. What is your vision for your finances? This is the first of the year. It's a good time to start thinking about it. It's a good time to start seeing where you feel like you want to be financially. Right now is tax time. What do we want to do differently with our return? How are we going to flip our return and make it double, triple? How can we utilize it to allow ourselves to have a grander benefit than maybe we've had before? How have you budgeted your vision? Rebudgeting. What does budget look like? We know now inflation. We are involved right now economically in a time of inflation. How am I going to budget the finances right now? What is my vision for my money? And when do you project to meet your goal? Once you set a goal, what are you projecting that time frame to be to meet that goal? Whatever that goal is, I know that you can do it this year in 2022. Restart. You can make it happen. I just want to encourage you on that. Next, let's look at the value of our business, the value of our finances. The value is to regard that something is held to be deserved. The importance, the worth, the usefulness of something, that something is valuable. And I want you to know that whatever had come to you as a vision, as a business in times past, recognize that it has value. What solution does your business provide? Think about that now, currently. What solution? You may currently be in business, or you may be someone who is restarting, even from the pandemic, or you may be someone who hasn't actually started yet, but it has been in your heart. It has been something you've written down. Let's revisit that and see the value in what you have been given. It is valuable. How do you value your skills to manage the business? You have what it takes to manage the business, or else you would not have been given the vision. You have skills that are valuable to make that come alive, to make that be something that is very important to you. And where will you go to increase the value of your skills and service? So sometimes we have to enhance ourselves. That's why continuing education is never ending, it's perpetual. I don't care what profession you're in, what area and sector of society you're in. It is important that we are constantly learning, evolving, and growing, increasing our value always. Always, whether you're going to be an entrepreneur and have your own business, or you're working with someone and you are enhancing their business, it is so important to have those increases of value of yourself and your finances. What is your net worth? That's a good question. I want to ask people, what is your net worth? That's something I had to really look at the latter part of the year of 2021. What is our net worth? What do we have? What are our assets? What are our liabilities? And then that in return tells us our net worth. It's important for you to look at that because you are valuable. Your finances are valuable. A lot of times we dismiss it and say, oh, I don't have, not that much, because we size it up against people that we see on television. Listen, you have something of value. You have a net worth. So right now it's okay to restart and think about that. And how will you reevaluate your assets this year in 2022? It's important to think about how you're going to restart in your perspective of your finances. And where can you increase your financial worth? Think about that. Where there are ways and means to increase the value of what you have. It's not the amount, it's what we do with the amount, which allows us to gain wealth. Now let's look at the variety in our business, variety in our finances. Variety is the quality or state of being different or diverse, the absence of uniformity, sameness, of monotony. Yeah, why it's just this maintaining, right? This status quo. We don't want that. We want variety in our businesses, variety in our finances. Why is your business unique? Think about that. What makes your business unique? And I think this is an important question. And the reason I wanted to highlight this is because I think a lot of times when people compare to other people, it makes them feel like, well, I may not have very much, or two people have the same idea, because we're really good at thinking that we have monopoly over ideas, right? Someone wants to start an ice cream shop and the other person wants to start one. They say, well, they stole my idea. Listen, ideas are flowing constantly at the rate that we can't even keep up with. It's about who's going to capture it and move on it, because there's something unique with person B than it is from person A. Let's bring it all forth, because there is variety, which is very important. I want to encourage you. There is something unique about your business. You may say, oh, well, I'm the 50th business of this category that has started in my neighborhood or in my area. But guess what? There's something unique about yours. Find that. Restart with that perspective. And what can you provide? What can you provide that the other person doesn't? They may be in the same business, in the same area, providing the same service or product, but what are you providing for the needs of individuals to offer variety? And most, something that's interesting, the variety sometimes is just you being you. Right? It's the same. It's two ice cream shops, but someone comes to your ice cream shop because they say there's something about you that allows them to have a greater day, that allows them to open up, right? That allow where they want to come spend their money with you. Make sure that you are recognizing even the variety that you offer as an individual, along with your services. So just an encouragement there. Who else can you serve as a customer? Variety. Reaching out beyond your scope, reaching out beyond who you think, believe, and know potentially, right? It's serving a variety of individuals. Get out of your realm, right? It may be some people that you didn't think you would be able to serve, and those are the very people that you are supposed to serve. Restart. There's some variety out there for you. There are customers that need what you have. And in your finances, think about these questions. What is your main source of income? What is your main source of income? Think about that. Where else can you increase your income? Where can multiple streams be involved for you in the restart of your finances for 2022? And who can you partner with to elevate your financial literacy, to elevate your financial stretch, and reach there of where you're putting your funds and increasing your funds. Talking with people that are knowledgeable in particular areas. I recently met someone actually last Friday, I believe it was. On Friday, the days are running together. But anyway, I met someone last week who is a financial advisor. And just listening to him talk, I learned so much. And I was like, hey, do you have a card? And instantaneously set up a meeting with him, actually in about a week, to talk about something that was very intriguing regarding trust. And he was talking about a program that they offer that allows individuals to utilize trust and prepare certain assets and wealth building, generational wealth building components for their children and grandchildren. I was like, that's right up my alley. You talking my language. So once again, restarting, being in atmospheres, rooms with people who are talking where you're going, even with your finances. If that's the direction you want to go in, who are you partnering with to elevate that? And so when I heard him, I was like, that's a person I can partner with so that he can even help me understand more of the trust aspect that I'm trying to build for my personal generational wealth portfolio. So you need to think about that as well. Wherever you are in your financial vision, how are you going to build that? Very important. And then virtue, the capacity to act, potency, the power to achieve or bring about a particular result. I want to tell you today, and whenever you're watching this, you do have virtue, and some things have really come to make us feel as if a lot of our virtue has been zapped, but there is still power, there is still potency about you that will allow you to restart in your business and your finances. And these are some questions that can help rejuvenate that virtue that's in you. It's still there. What are your business strengths? Think about that. And a lot of times it's hard for us to highlight our strengths for some people. I'll say not for everybody. For some people, it's hard for them to highlight their strengths and boast on themselves. I know for me, that's one of my areas that I'm striving to do better in. It is very difficult for me to talk about myself. I have a philosophy, and I know that philosophy is true. It's just not a world philosophy. That look, it's better for another man to praise you. If we all had that mindset, we would never have to boast about ourselves because we would constantly be looking at the strengths of others and elevating them. And then in return, people, of course, are elevating you because we are looking at each other's strengths. And so that's my life philosophy. So sometimes that's why it makes my stomach churn when I have to be the one to elevate and lift up my own strengths. So I'm trying to like really push myself out of that realm because I know that's not the norm. That's not the popular way. That's not the cultural status standard, I should say. So come on, we need to go ahead and do that. Talking to you and me, we need to go ahead and pull out our strengths. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. I am good at leadership. I am good at training and development. I am good at empowering and lifting up and elevating and embracing others to their greater self. Those are things that you need to look at where you are. I am good at business. I am good at management of business. Though, whatever those strengths are, you need to go ahead and speak those into the atmosphere. You need to get in the mirror and kind of practice them for yourself. Like I said, these are things I've had to like push out. Say it. Allow yourself to be assured of the virtue that's in you, the virtue that you have, the power that you have. It's okay to highlight those strengths so you can begin to allow that to build and stir within you so that you just get stronger and stronger. It's like lifting weights. You get stronger and stronger. Guess what? About weights, no one's lifting those for you. So even to my point of that mindset that I would love society to be, that's like a utopia. So get that out. Okay. we're here. This is what it is. It is what it is until it isn't. So what we have to do is build our muscles. And no one's building that. Sometimes people are spotting for you. If you on a bench press, you may have somebody spot for you. You may have people in your life that are good spotters. They're able to encourage you. Keep lifting. You got this. Keep going. But at the end of the day, you are the person lifting. So you are the person that needs to verbalize, needs to stand on your strengths. You and I need to look at those strengths and say, these are my strengths in my business. And then we go to the second question. Who can I partner with who has strengths that I need for my business? Because I may not be strong in every single area. So then I partner. This helps me restart. I get with individuals who not only have strengths and are confident in their strengths, but that they see your strengths as well. And you all are able to coexist and to build up and restart and allow the virtue, the potency of what you're doing to go to the next level. What experiences have given you wisdom for your business journey? That's a good question you may have to meditate on for a little bit. Nothing was wasted. Nothing is wasted. Every encounter, every experience, every circumstance that you have gone through in your life, notice I said gone through because you have come out on the other side. So you have gone through that for a reason. And that has given you virtue. That has given you power and more potency to restart your business. Think about that and allow yourself to gain strength from your own testimony. What are your financial strengths? Let's talk about that. Think about your financial strengths. What are you good at? One goal that I made for myself this year is that I was not going to buy any clothing, shoes, jewelry, things like that. I have enough. Like I have clothes that still has price tags on them in my closet. So there's no way that I would be lacking in that area. So I can save and use a strength of self-restraint this year in 2022 to not spend in that area and begin to build in other areas because I have a vision for my finances. So start with your vision. And then when you get to this point of virtue, you'll have more strength and power to reserve. The other day we went into Kohl's because I was out by Oxmoor Mall. And I don't go out there that much, but those are for those who live in this area. Some people are watching like, who is the Oxmoor Mall? But I was by a mall and there was a Kohl's store that was really big. And I was like, I've never seen one that big. So I was like, let me just go in there. Well, I picked up like a couple pair of pants on the clearance rack and I was trying to justify it. Oh, it's only going to be about $25. And then I walked around a little bit to get myself together and build up my potency, my strength, my virtue. And I said, you know what? I'm going to put these back on the clearance rack. I am not going to justify to myself spending this money, which I had already made a vision for myself for 2022. It's to not spend on clothing because I don't need to. And so I went and put those back and I was really proud of myself. So that's going to probably take multiple times throughout the year, but I gained a victory just that one time. And I left with some virtue. I left that store and got back in my car and I felt stronger because I was like, I can say no. I have the virtue to restart and make sure I'm doing things that line up with my financial vision. And then who can you partner with to enhance your strengths that you have financially? There may be individuals that you could partner with, even your spouse. Hey, hold me accountable to this or that because I want to make sure that I'm staying on point and I'm keeping and maintaining my power. What experiences have given you insight into stronger paths of financial health? That's another good question that you'll take time to kind of meditate on. These last two are ones that you got to think about and go ahead and maybe journal those, write those out for yourself because they're important. There are experiences that you have encountered in your financial journey in your life that have made you stronger. And you can utilize those now to give you more virtue and power for restarting and where you're going. That is so important. So important. So important. So I don't have very much for tonight. I want you to just think about what is your leftover from those questions. I will put this slide on the Table Talks Facebook page so that you can go back and actually look at these questions, because I think these questions are important, whether you're a person who is restarting in your business or just like everybody should be restarting financially, especially after these last couple years. So reevaluating and thinking about, what does my finances look like going forward? But I want you to think about what your leftover is from this dialogue tonight. And then even after you answer some of the questions, put in the comments what you felt like your leftover was. That will help me see what you gained from this particular episode. And then it will also maybe help someone else that had a question, thought, or maybe your encouraging word, testimony from these two aspects of business and finances and restarting. You may have a testimony of how you restarted your business within these last 12 months or so, or your goal to restart your business in 2022. Do you need accountability? We can provide that for you. Bernice and Martina and myself, we have a common thread in that our desire is to help and uplift each other and to help and uplift those who are around us. And that's what we come to the table and we try to bring. That's why we say, come to the table. Everybody has a seat at the table. Your voice matters. Your life matters. Look, the vision that you have definitely matters. What you bring, the value that you have matters. The variety that you offer to whatever that you're doing in life matters. And your virtue. You have power. Your power is not greater or less than anyone else. It's about our belief system to really grab hold of it and say, even if I felt like I stopped, I can restart. That's power. That is power, and you have that within you. So hopefully we can be of assistance and encouragement throughout this quarter to help individuals restart in those areas that we will be bringing forth. So thank you for joining me tonight at the table. Don't forget, in March, Bernice Mitchell will be coming. So thank you for joining us at the table. You can always email us at tabletalksllp@gmail.com. If you have any topics, any questions, any thoughts, if you'd like to be a guest on Table Talks, we would love to hear from you so that you can join us here anytime throughout this year. So thank you so much for your time. And just like behind me, this is one of my little favorite things in my office, hope. There's hope. There's hope. No matter if you felt like there was no hope to restart from whatever you've had to bounce back from, there's still hope for you to restart. You do have a vision. I'm just trying to encourage you to help spark a little fire and get that rejuvenated. You do have value. There's variety in what you have to offer, whether it's in your business or your finances. And you definitely have the power. You have the virtue. So thank you again for joining. We'll see you next month. And God bless you. Have a wonderful remainder of the week.